So today is October 21st, and the kids and I, we actually just finished our 5K Cowtown Calf Run. It was really fun. It was something a little bit more geared towards kids. One of the things I really liked about it is the fact that the the route was really contained into a safe space where, and then they had a lot of people along the way, which maybe they typically do. It is not my first marathon or my first run, 5K run, but the last time I did a Cowtown, which was this year, but earlier this year, maybe I think maybe April, February, I don't know. But for some reason, I just assumed that I was going to be able to run with the kids, and I wasn't, and I had not registered. So I had to stand back, and then my daughter, she actually ran with my oldest, my 9-year old. Well, for those of you who've been following me or who know me, I have 6 kids. So anyway, I guess I should use ages. My 25-year-old daughter, she said she volunteered to run with my then 8-year-old. And then I kept the 6-year-old with me. We just stood there and waited. And I was so concerned because the reason why she went ahead and ran with him is because my 6-year-old was also registered. I had only registered the children. But when I found out that I could not go with them, I was very concerned because the route for that 5K, it kind of took them out of my eyesight. And I was very concerned, like, oh God, I could not see them. So she said, I'll do it. I go with him. We let her go instead of letting my 6-year-old go. And that way I felt safer. The one that we did today was a whole lot better. Like I said, it was more contained. The route was more contained. Like you could actually see your kids. But because I learned the lesson that I learned from the last race that I registered them with, I went ahead and registered myself. And so I was already planning on going with them on the route. So, and it worked out well until my 9-year-old fell and he hurt himself. And then, so we ended up coming in last place together. Like out of all the people, we were last. But he finished the race. I finished the race. My now 7-year-old finished the race. And so we're good. We did good. So I'm so happy. You guys need to try to do it next year. It's called the Cowtown Calf. I'm not sure if this comes out like backwards on my camera. I see it backwards, but it's the calf run, the Cowtown Calf Run, and it's October, so I'm assuming it's going to be again next October. And again, it's a race that is geared more towards children. It takes into account their safety and parents being able to see their children, okay, while they run. So it was really nice. So anyway, thank you for watching this. I am Cam, and my channel is Investor Mommy. Just to tell you a little bit about me and what I am doing with my videos or my content. My content is all about investing in everything, but mostly investing in yourself. Investing in yourself. When we invest in ourselves, we not only invest in ourselves, we're investing in our family. We're investing in our financial well-being, our physical well-being, our spiritual or mental whatever it is, we are investing in ourselves. And we as human beings are a full package of a lot of different things. So Investor Mommy is all about that. So let's get started with today's content or today's topic, which is based on an experience that I had at the marathon. So I don't know if I've told you guys about this. There's probably a lot of people that don't know this about me. When I was growing up, I was a very social. I used to be called antisocial person. I had social anxiety, real bad, like real bad, and so I stuck to myself. I'm an introvert, and now that I understand that, I have no problems with it. You know, I'm very confident. I have no problems. I'm good. But you know, as a child, you're trying to figure yourself out, and when you are like me, you struggle with that. And so anyway, let's bring it back to today. So today I finished the race with Mateo. He fell, so we finished last. And so we come in, and I was so concerned about Rafa. Rafa, I don't know what time he finished. I'll find out later. But he was being cared for and looked over by some wonderful parents who also from their same school. So I didn't know the parents. I do know parents at the school that my kids go to, but I didn't know these set of parents. I don't know them. But they were so kind to make sure that Rafa was watched over and safe. And so that was one of my concerns. So, awesome. So we get there, and the kids had started to play on the playground. And so we were sitting at a bench. Me, along with other parents, were sitting at a bench that was there. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm sorry about the background noise, guys. Sorry about the background noise. So I'm sitting there, and you know, I consider myself a little bit. I mean, I'm very social. I can be social. I've learned some tricks of the trade, so I can be social. But there were 4 other mothers, and they started speaking Spanish to one another. And I don't speak Spanish. My husband speaks Spanish fluently because he's Cuban. His mom is Cuban and his dad is Mexican. So he speaks Spanish fluently. But we've been married for many years now, 10 years to be exact. And I haven't learned how to speak Spanish, and neither has he taken any type of efforts to teach me. And it's okay. I wish he would, and I wish my own kids spoke Spanish fluently, but it didn't happen. So it's just like move on. And there are some things that I can do to learn Spanish, and I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault that I don't know Spanish. I really want to know Spanish, but I have not taken the necessary steps, and I guess it hasn't been that important to me, or else I probably would have learned Spanish by now. I'm just going to take responsibility. But let's go back to the table. We're the parents. And so they were speaking Spanish, and so I immediately felt like there was a conversation, an open conversation, but I was not invited to it. That is how I felt. And, as a 48-year-old individual who has 6 kids, I acknowledge those feelings. They don't make me feel any less or any more of a human being as a woman, I mean, they don't affect me in a negative way, I guess I should say. But I thought it was interesting that here I am. Here I am feeling like I'm in middle school or high school. What is this about? And why am I having to feel like this? Is it those women's responsibility to include me in their conversation? Is it my responsibility to go and kind of include myself in the conversation? Okay, sorry. I had to press pause. Just let me interject with this. There was someone that just came down my street. I mean, he had the loudest music ever. And then he went into the driveway and actually burnt out the rubber on these people's driveway that he was going to visit. And they have black marks all over their driveway now. So the husband comes out and cusses him out and tells him, my wife is in here working. What's wrong with you? And so I had to put my 2 cents in. I told him he messed up the driveway. I yelled across the street. So yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I found myself at the table just kind of thinking about how I can learn from this experience. How do people all over the world feel like this? How I'm feeling in that very moment. How do people feel? How do others feel? I'm in my own, it's not, I guess it is my country, because America belongs to everyone. America is a country that's made, it's like a salad. And I know that you guys have heard this. It's a melting pot or a big salad of different races and different cultures, people that came from everywhere. Everybody in America is an immigrant except for the Native Americans. So, and then there's a whole fight about that. So I'm not going to go into that. Y'all know what I mean. Okay? All right. But I just wondered about like people in Israel, in Hamas or Gaza Strip or whatever, the Palestinians and the Jewish people, like, and people just everywhere, like, how do they feel when they get, when they feel like there is a whole, let me think, there's something moving around them, something happening around them, and they're not invited to the table, or they're not included. You know what I mean? But things are steady moving. Even though they're not present, they're not invited, they're not a part of that moving system. You know what I mean? Maybe they have their own little moving system that's moving over here on the side, you know, but then there's this whole moving system that they're not a part of. They want to be a part of it, and maybe they don't know how to be a part of it. Or maybe they don't want to be a part of it, you know, but they still feel like they're left out. They still feel like they should at least be invited. And sometimes you just want to be invited, but you know you ain't going to go. You just want to be invited, you know. And I wanted to kind of come to terms like, is that how I'm feeling right now? But truly, truly, I was feeling like I was a marginalized individual. And as I looked around me, I really didn't see that many other black people. I didn't see nobody, you know what, and I don't even want to bring it to just like the fact that it was black or white or black and Hispanic or whatever. I didn't see nobody else that just, you know, just looked like me. I didn't see nobody else with braids, you know, which is not a problem. It's just something that I'm recognizing. And when I don't see other people that look like me in events like this, you know, I start to feel like I felt at that table. I do. I you know, I have a tendency to ignore it because I'm 48 now, and I think this is the second time I said that during the video. But I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I ain't no spring chicken no more. I've been through some things, and I've had some good and bad times, and I understand. I have a perspective now that I didn't have when I was much younger, and that perspective is that it's okay. It's okay to feel like you're left out. It's okay. It's okay to feel like there's a conversation that's going on, an open conversation, and that you're not invited. It's okay, you know, because life is still going to keep moving for you. Okay? It may be moving in that big circle without you, but guess what? Your life, my life, is going to keep going forward, period. Time does not stop for anybody. You can stop and you can look at this situation and be like, ooh, woe is me. Oh, I feel so terrible. You know what? It's okay to feel terrible. What you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? So in that moment, I mean, what I did was I put on my headphones because I'm listening to a book by Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is called Be Useful. It's amazing. I recommend everybody read this book. Like, read it. And I'm actually, okay, maybe I shouldn't say that I'm reading it. I'm listening to it on Audible. So, but it is good. It's really good. It's very inspirational. So I just said, hey, let me do something positive right now. Like, why am I sitting here thinking about these feelings? But I couldn't help but to, on my drive home from the race, I couldn't help but to think about how many people all over the world feel like this. In our city, in Fort Worth, we're having an issue with our public school district. It's an issue. It's an issue. And there's no one answer. There's no one right factor that's contributing to the problem. It's just a whole big melting pot of like different things that compact and build, and over time you just have an issue that just keeps getting piled on. You know, the issue is big already, but things keep kind of piling on the issue. And so I feel like in our city as a whole, even though I experienced that at that table with the wonderful, sweet, loving mothers, okay? I don't want to say anything bad about them. It was awesome. This is all about my experience and what was happening. At that table, I felt marginalized. And if I didn't know any better, I probably would have started acting weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was a kid, I would have started acting weird, like trying to suppress the feeling. And you know how children get. They a lot of them would do negative things to try to fight the feeling. You know, the negative feeling. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. But I just thought to myself, man, as a city, now I'm not going to even talk about the world, even though I mentioned it earlier. Let's just go and focus down on the city of Fort Worth. If you look at the school districts, you can tell that the marginalized people here in the city that fill up the public school district, that go to the public school district, they are feeling like there is a whole conversation going on in this city, and they are uninvited. I mean, an open conversation, not just a whole conversation, but an open conversation, and they are uninvited. And this is not just the children. This is the families, because the children come from families. You understand that? And if the children are marginalized in the school, then so are their families in the city. So are their communities in the city. So is the I'm not gonna even go outside the communities. Okay? Because it's just kind of like it grows. There's always a bigger picture. We're gonna talk about this picture right here. Being a marginalized individual, or being a part of a marginalized group of people, sometimes you want to keep a positive attitude, and it's important to have that. But it's not all the time that your positive attitude is going to help. It's going to make it to where you don't feel these things, especially when you go outside the norm. When you're going outside the norm, like, I can look around. I looked around me this morning. I didn't see I did see some black people. I ain't gonna lie. I did see some black kids. But I didn't see a lot of black mothers. I just didn't see nobody else. I saw a few black men. Just probably, I can count them on my hand. I probably saw 3. And then the black kids, I probably saw about 8, maybe 9. Because they were a part of a school group or something. But it just, I couldn't help but to see that there was, I'm like, where are the black people? Where are they? I'm happy, I'm comfortable around Hispanics and Indian. Well, I don't spend a lot of time around Indians, so I'm still working on that. I want to have more Indian friends, or just be around more Indian people, or whatever, Asians, whatever, African, but I could not see, I didn't see a lot of African American people. So I figure all these groups, I guess I probably need to look at the word marginalized and see exactly who kind of research that term a little bit, like who in America, what groups of people are marginalized. And I know group can involve any more, group of people, like, yeah, it could get crazy with the word group. But I'm just specifically talking about marginalized groups of people. Like, who all are marginalized? I know black people are marginalized. And I know sometimes Hispanics can be marginalized, but they have such a growing population in America. Or especially here in Texas, in Fort Worth, it's their majority. So being marginalized for them is changing a little bit. It's changing. It has changed, and so it's a little different. But when you're around a sea of people and you're the only person that look like you, and then you have the group of people that you're trying to be with, they're speaking another language that you don't speak, it kind of makes you feel like you're invisible. You know what I mean? You're a little bit invisible. And I wonder if the people, if the marginalized groups in our city, in our school district, in our city, feel like they're invisible. This is an interesting conversation. But anyway, guys, I finished the Cowtown Calf, and it was fun. It was so fun. I got my little everybody got it. If you finish, you get this. And so my little medal is cute. And a lady who I finished with, she was an older lady, very fun. She and I walked together. She is an avid marathon runner, but she's up in age, and she's been told by her doctor to walk only now. So I had the pleasure of walking with her and me and Mateo. And so she shared with me that there's actually this, you can buy like this, it's like what do you call it? It's like this thing that's a hook. It's a board with a hook on it. It has 12 hooks. And it's this challenge called 12 by 12. You run 12 marathons in 12 months. so that you're spreading it out of the year. So each month you run a different marathon or walk. And I feel inclined to kind of build a group of people from marginalized groups to get together and maybe do the 12 by 12 challenge together. It's positive, it's healthy, it's active, it promotes conversation, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can do that. I mean, just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. But I feel like it's positive. And hey, it'll be a solution to a problem or a issue that I had today. I like to be a part of the solution. That's my favorite thing to do. Be a part of the solution. You see a problem, hey, try to solve it. If you can't solve it, keep it going. Keep it trucking, baby. Okay? If you're not going to be a part of the solution, then keep it trucking. Okay? I don't do a lot of complaining. And so, anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. I would love to hear your comments about the topic that I talked about. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So if you can put a comment below, that would be great. And if you have not had a chance to subscribe, please subscribe. I am trying to grow my channel. I also am trying to be more, like, put more content on there. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, y'all. Bye.